I realize in my life as your pastor that I'm held accountable for what our church does. Did y'all realize that? So when you look at the big scheme of things, when I die and go to heaven, every mistake that's made at this church, I get to stand in front of God and tell Him why I did it. And every mistake that's made in this church that y'all make, guess what y'all get to do? Go talk to Butch about that. That's a pretty heavy weight on my shoulders a lot of times. Because I don't want to stand in front of God and realize that the mistakes I made could have been prevented. That's why many times it takes a long time for us to make decisions in our church, to move forward. Because I always want to make sure that those decisions are supported 100% by God. And I realize that the physical choices we make in life are nothing more than a vehicle for our spiritual growth. I realize that. But I don't want to mess it up. So it kind of makes me a little nervous to say, hey, this is what we're going to do. Or we're going to do this change or that change. But as your pastor, I have to overcome that uneasiness and realize that God is not interested in our physical success. God is not interested if Hubbard Cowboy Church stays in existence for the next 150 years. He's just interested that we are serving Him and leading people to Christ today and tomorrow. He's not concerned with our physical part of our church or our lives. In realizing that, I understand again that physical aspect is just a vehicle to move us forward spiritually. So the elders and I have been talking, and we've been praying for several months, and we talked this past week, and we came to an understanding, a consensus, as our team leaders like to call it, and we want to be able to share that with y'all today. And the consensus that we have come to is we are starting construction of our church building immediately.
Amen. Woo! Amen. Woo! Yeah.
Pulled up this morning, you probably saw some dirt out here by the arena. They're going to start forming the slab up this week, all weather permitting. By the time y'all get here next Sunday, there'll be a slab sitting there for a building.
Amen.
Now, in saying that, we have asked God to provide everything we need to build this building. We have not asked the bank to borrow nothing. Because the interest at the bank is high and God's interest ain't.
Amen.
There's enough funds in the bank right now to have this slab poured and to buy the materials to build the building. And that's it. That's it. That's all that's there. But I know that building is not important. That the construction of that building is just a vehicle to grow our lives spiritually. So that's the reason why we're doing it the way we're doing it, because we want God to grow each and every one of us spiritually. We want to depend on Him. We want Him to show us where He wants us to go. In saying that, in order for us to use the physical things in life to grow us spiritually, it takes action, correct?
Right.
So in order for us as a church to grow spiritually through the physical things that God is doing, it's going to take action on each and every one of our parts. It is so easy for us to go sign on a dotted line to hire a contractor to say build that building. But does that grow us spiritually? No. So it's going to take a little longer. It's going to be a bigger pain in the butt than what I probably want it to be. But we're interested in that spiritual growth more than we are that physical growth. Just real quick before I get going, just a couple of things. The material, the red iron for the building is going to be delivered on the 22nd. Starting the 29th, we're going to be working on the building on Fridays and Saturdays. So if your work schedule permits and you have some time and you want to come help, just start planning on from now on Fridays and Saturdays, trying to come out and do some stuff. We can sure find something for whoever wants to come and work to do. And as we get further along, what's going to start happening, because I told y'all, some of y'all weren't here, But I told y'all that we've got enough funds to pour the slab and to hang the red iron, right? You put the tin up, and after that, we're gonna have to do it as we go. So what's gonna start happening is in your bulletin each week, there's gonna be a list of needs. And when those list of needs are filled, then we'll be able to make the next step. But starting the 29th, the red iron will be here, and we'll start construction on the frame of the building. So if you got some time, hang out, come help, come watch. Can't never have too many supervisors on the job. As long as I'm the head supervisor, right?